Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very good friend of mine, Anusha, here with me as my bridal model for today's makeup tutorial. So without further ado, let's dig right into the tutorial. Today I'm going to be starting off with her brows, and for that I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in shade Chocolate. And I always like to use my angular brush and start filling them out from the front to the end. And for kind of the bridal makeup looks, for Indian, Pakistani or Bangladeshi bridal makeup looks, I always like to kind of make the brows a little bit more darker than usual, because I feel that as brides we have a lot of things going on the eyelid, and it's very important to make the brows as prominent as the eyelid. So that's what I feel like. I don't know if you guys may prefer something else, so you might want to change up the eyebrow game to a lighter look. That's up to you. So I'm going to start off with her eyelids. Obviously, for that I'm using my concealer. For this I'm using my Benefit concealer. This is called Bowing Concealer. And what I'm doing right now is I'm actually applying a powder on top of that concealer, so to set it all in place, so that way I can now start applying eyeshadow. The reason why I'm setting it up with a powder before I put on the eyeshadow, because I don't want the eyeshadow to look patchy, and that this way it actually blends a lot nicer. The first shade that I started using, it's actually in 335 Inglot Freedom eyeshadows. And for the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to now kind of deepen up the two extreme outer corners of the eye using 382 by Inglot. And also I'm going to be mixing a few other colors here. I think the next color that I'm going to be using are in 304 by Inglot, and the other one is Jennifer Lopez collection. This doesn't really have a name, but I believe it's 1331. That's what I can read. Sorry, I can't read because the writing is not that clear. But yeah, I believe it's 1331. These are the eyeshadows that I'm using to kind of darken up her outer corners. Now I'm using the Inglot gel eyeliner in number 95, and I'm basically creating a pot light effect on her eyes. I feel like this eyeshadow looks really nice, especially if you don't have a huge eyelid space. This kind of brings in that light to your eyelid and makes it look like you have a bigger eyelid. Now to set the eyeliner, I'm using this eyeshadow by Inglot again, and this is in the number 155. All the details of the product will be listed down below, so you guys can actually see it on the description. Here I'm just blending out and marrying the colors in between. Now moving on, for the color correction, I'm using MAC color corrector, and it is in the shade orange, but I will write down the exact name down below in the description box. I just don't have it handy on me right now. For foundation, I'm using Loreal foundation in shade 108 mixed with a little bit of 109. And what I'm doing here is I'm basically using a flat foundation brush. This is actually very rare. I don't use this foundation brush quite often, but recently I've been loving using this a lot because I feel like I can go around the eyes and around the forehead and applying it really nicely. Now using my beauty blender, I'm going to blend all that foundation into her skin. Moving on for highlight, cream highlight, I'm actually not using a concealer, I'm actually using a foundation. And this is the Clinique foundation in Oats, which is, I believe, is 08, but again, don't count me on it because I am going to be writing it down on the description box, but it definitely is Oats, but I'm not too sure what shade number it is. It's a slight lighter. As you can see, the highlight is not super wide. It's a little lighter than her actual foundation. Probably 2-3 shades lighter, not 15 shades lighter. So definitely that helps to, you know, cover up dark circles and also kind of bring that light to the face, especially on the middle section of her face where you want the light to look more prominent. And again, I'm using my beauty blender to blend all of that into her skin. Next, I'm using Chubby sticks, Clinique Chubby sticks. These are my favorite for contour, especially when I'm dealing with someone with a little bit of duskier skin tone, or a little bit of someone like myself. You know, I'm someone of NC42. I like this a lot because it has that little bit of light, like a chocolate, like like a nice warm chocolate tone to it, so it doesn't make us look like too gray or ashy, but it has definitely that chocolate look to make us look like, okay, this is a beautiful contour instead of making it too ashy kind of contour. Yeah, you want to make it look like shadow, but not too much of a shadow. That way you turn out to look more gray than really like, you know, vibrant. We want to make sure we want to look vibrant and like a bride, you know? So yeah, I'm going to cream contour all of that into your skin. And usually to blend a cream contour, I like using a stippling brush. I feel like it blends a lot better. I'm using a MAC brush here to sort of blend all of that into your skin. And be very light-handed and kind of keep the contour in its place. Don't bring it inside, outside, whatever. Just blend it very decently so it stays within its place. And before I go and set the under eyes with some powder, I always like to blend the under eyes first, because you don't want to put powder without blending the under eyes. And while she's looking up, I'm going to quickly go in and place some translucent powder underneath her eyes to make sure her eyes are set perfectly, so it stays like that throughout the day without forming any crease underneath the eyes. And yeah, I like to take a lot of amount of powder apparently. Okay, so powder is the key to really make your makeup stay longer, which is a key thing for brides. At the same time, powder is also a very beautiful thing for your camera. Now, of course, you want to make sure that your powder doesn't have SPF, which Kryolan powders, I believe they don't have, because they are actually more of a theatrical makeup. They're used in films and photography and flash photography and high-end photo shoots. So the powder that I'm using is a translucent powder by Kryolan. So definitely it's one of the best powders out there in the market. And it has such a fine finish to it that it looks beautiful and it blends in very nicely. Now I also like to kind of go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder to do the remaining of the face, like, you know, all the contours and everything, and just set it together. For a blush, I'm using Modern Mandarine by MAC Cosmetics. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just applying the eyeshadow by Inglot in number 335 underneath her eyes. And also here I'm just waterlining her eyes using, again, another Inglot eyeliner pencil. This is in the shade Nude, but I will again write their exact numbers down below in the description box. Here I'm just taking a black eyeshadow and I'm making sure her under eyes are completely thinly done. I don't want to make it too dark underneath her eyes. But it is also to make her eyes look bigger. Since we have that nude color on her waterline, this eyeshadow will, underneath that, will make her eyes look more bigger than they are. So it's just a way to make them appear more bigger. So instead of using an eyeliner to create a harsh liner, I'm using actually an eyeshadow to kind of create that look. Now I'm applying the mascara. The mascaras are by Inglot, and it's called Long Form Mascara by Inglot. And if you guys are interested in knowing where I got this brush from, this mascara one brush, these are actually by Morphel. Morphel actually sells them. They're amazing, and you can always wash them and, you know, make them, you know, sanitized and everything. Now for the inner corners and the brow bone, I'm using my MAC highlighter. But I'm going to go again with a different highlighter just to make them pop more. So yeah. And here I just sprayed her entire face using Morphe makeup setting spray. And like I said, I was going to use another highlighter. This is the Amrezy highlighter by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I actually like using a smaller brush for the tip of the nose and the bridge of the nose because I feel like it applies really nicely. And then I just go and, you know, use a bigger brush for the cheeks and all that stuff. I'm just applying some lashes on her. Once I'm done applying lashes, I'm going to hide the lash glue using a liquid liner. You have to be very careful so you don't like, you know, overdo with the liner here, because you're just hiding the you know, the entire glue. Now using a black eyeshadow, this is again by Inglot. It is a number 391. What I'm doing is I'm just going slightly over that eyeliner to make it look more diffused. Now for lipstick, I'm using this lipstick by Stilla Cosmetics. It's one of my favorite actually. I'll write the name down below. It's a really beautiful color. And then I'm topping it up with some Nikki's Nude. This is actually supposed to be a limited edition by MAC Cosmetics. I'm not too sure if they still sell them. But yeah, this is the entire look, guys. This is the final look of the makeup look. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this makeup look. I loved how it turned out. It stayed very natural. It stayed very true to her skin tone. I think this is a perfect makeup look for Nikah or like engagement and even like shadi, like paydays and all that stuff. So I think this is a perfect makeup look. You still look beautiful, you still look gorgeous, you still look like a bride, but you don't look like somebody else. You look like yourself. I think this makeup look is completely beautiful and it turned out just how I expected it to be. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on my Instagram at Makeupbyazmeree. Thank you so much for watching once again. Have a good day and take care, and I'll see you on my next video. Till then, bye bye.